Wow.
They failed to agree twice. The judge gave them another bite at the apple on the breaking news. The jury has reached a unanimous verdict in the case of Daniel Penny. He's been found not guilty on the charge of criminally negligent homicide. Now, remember what was at stake here. The jury could not agree on manslaughter. They failed to agree twice. The judge gave them
What do you think it was? He's white, rich, and handsome, and tall?
another bite at the apple on this lesser charge, negligent. They now say not guilty. What does this mean? Let's first go to reporter C.B. Cotton, who's outside the courthouse, to find out how this has played out. Now, I hear an immediate melee of protesters, C.B.
Hi, Harris. That's right. Protesters are pretty
We got to look at what he did. What did Daniel Penny do?
There's a large crowd of them out here next to me. You can hear them rattling the police barricades, saying no justice, no peace. And what they're yelling now follows a series of threats that they hurled earlier as the defense walked in with their client, Daniel Penny, telling the defense team that Daniel Penny can have no peace here in New York if he's found not guilty on this lesser charge, criminally negligent homicide. And from what I can hear...
So what did Penny do on the subway? Penny, 26, gripped Jordan Neely around the neck for about 6 minutes in a chokehold that other subway passengers partially captured on video. Penny's lawyers said he was protecting himself and other subway passengers from a volatile, mentally ill man who was making alarming remarks and gestures. Does he have a nose piercing or no? That'd be crazy. Goes into court with a nose piercing. All right, guys. Let's watch this. This is a video. Obviously not this. Some dorky ad. I need a Christmas tree in here, stat.
We do have breaking news out of New York. Jury deliberations just began in the trial of Daniel Penny. He's a Marine veteran accused of killing a homeless man named Jordan Neely in a chokehold. CBS News New York's Christina Font reports on closing arguments from both the defense and the prosecution.
Good afternoon. The judge is about to
I mean, this probably ain't his first kill.
Charge the jury, and then deliberations will finally begin. Outside, you'll notice there are a lot more barricades and police officers compared to normal, likely in anticipation of possible protests that may break out once a verdict is finally reached.
Where's the video?
Wrapping up their closing arguments this morning, the prosecution reiterated that Jordan Neely died of a chokehold, not a combination of other factors like sickle cell crisis and drug use the defense had previously.
Oh, he did a little MMA move on a crazy homeless guy and trying to restrain him, and he just went too far and just killed the guy.
Argued.
Oh, wait. It's this guy dressed like fucking Michael Jackson. Wait, he's a Michael Jackson impersonator? This is getting insane.
Prosecutors say Penny acted recklessly, gripping Neely's neck for nearly 6 minutes, not letting go, even
yeah, that's crazy.
After the train pulled into the station and passengers were able to get off. The defense, during their summations yesterday, called the trial a rush to judgment, arguing media attention and protests motivated the DA's office to file those charges and asked the jury to imagine for a moment they were on that train.
I don't know, guys.
The trial has taken more than a month so far. Jurors have heard testimony from witnesses, police officers, and medical experts. If they find Penny guilty, he could face up to 15 years in prison for the top charge of...
I don't know, guys. I've seen some pretty fucking horrendous shit on the trains. There's no doubt about that. Some weird shit going on. You're underground in a subway. There's some weird homeless motherfuckers. Psychotic. That's where all the weirdos are.
Manslaughter. The judge could also choose not to sentence Penny to any prison time, even if he is convicted. Reporting from Lower Manhattan, Christina Fant.
Dude, it's hard to tell. All right.
Right now, they're repeating those threats. They are very angry. Harris, I also want to mention there were a couple people here this morning to support Daniel Penny, but the anti-Penny crowd far outweighs them, and they seem pretty upset. We're seeing police officers come out here in droves to try to keep the two groups separated for now. But I'm looking at our notes from the courtroom, and it seems like this is the first time we've seen some real emotion from Daniel Penny. His attorneys told me this morning that this trial has understandably taken a toll on him.
Oh my God. He probably thought he was just trying to protect people, and they're just like, holy shit.
He's been spending time with family and friends to try to stay calm. And our courtroom reporter telling me for the first time she sees him visibly smile, now hearing that jurors have decided he is not guilty of
Yeah, that's a crazy weight when you're facing like life in prison.
Of criminally negligent homicide. Harris, are you with me?
Yes, CB, thank you. Sorry about that, and we've lost our picture for a second there. Appreciate your reporting. We'll come back to you as the news warrants. That is huge, what CB Cotton was just reporting there. That emotion also that she talked about, color inside the courtroom, the first time perhaps that Daniel Penny has had any sort of noticeable reaction. And of course, when a jury finds you not guilty, that is very different than being divided and sending this case again potentially for a retrial. This is significant, not just for...
Maybe he's a CEO killer. This guy looks crazy. He looks like he's turned into a fucking brick wall, dude.
Daniel Penny, not just for subway riders who may have been on that jury who found a way through.
Interesting looking guy. He looks like he could be a killer.
Through all of the
He looks so numb and dead inside going through this, for real.
Legal wranglings, it would seem, by what we know as a soft on crime DA who does not hand out the adjudication evenly, we've seen from Alvin Bragg. So this is really important. I want to bring in now Jonathan.
Look at this guy over here.
Jonathan Turley, Fox News contributor, constitutional law attorney, and George Washington University law professor. Jonathan, before we get into what comes next in all of this, just
I want to see clips from the trial.
This was fairly quick.
It was quick, and it was not entirely expected because this is not obviously how District Attorney Bragg had planned this. The way the case was going was along the sort of design that Bragg had to force a compromise verdict.
They were like, fuck this.
Deadlocked over the more serious crime, the judge went ahead and
the judge is like, yeah, there's some crazy homeless fucking guys out there that do weird shit on the train. I would like to see him talking in court. Let's see if we can find that. Oh, good Lord.
This lesser offense. That is basically what Bragg had hoped, that if he could not get a conviction on the more serious crime, which was unlikely, that they would come back and compromise and convict him on the lesser offense.
Okay, I think we found a clip of him talking.
Well, I live in the East Village in Manhattan, so I take the subway multiple times a day.
Okay, he didn't kill anyone. He didn't kill anyone.
Well, I live in the East Village in Manhattan, so I take the subway multiple times a day. In this instance, I was coming from school. I got out of class around 2:15, and I took I was at J Street Metro Tech, took the Uptown F train. At 2nd Avenue, a man came on, stumbled on. He appeared to be on drugs. The doors closed, and he ripped his jacket off and threw it at the people sitting down to my left.
I believe it.
I was listening.
I totally fucking believe this.
To music at the time, and he was yelling, so I took my headphones out to hear what he was yelling. And the three main threats that he repeated over and over was, "I'm gonna kill you, I'm prepared to go to jail for life, and I'm willing to die." You know, this was a scary situation.
Right.
And Mr. Nearly came on.
They hate him, but the guy's like, "I'm killing you guys," and then he's like, "No, I'm gonna kill you." That's insane.
He was threatening. I'm 6'2", and he was taller than me. So it was, and there's a common misconception that Marines don't get scared. We're actually taught one of our core values is courage, and courage is not the absence of fear, but how you handle fear. And, you know, I was scared for myself, but I looked around, I saw women and children. He was yelling in their faces, saying these threats. I couldn't just sit still. Some people say that I was holding on to Mr. Nearly for 15 minutes. This is not true. I mean, between stops is only a couple minutes. So the whole interaction lasted less than 5 minutes. Some people say I was trying to choke him to death, which is also not true. I was trying to restrain him. You can see in the video, there's a clear rise and fall of his chest, indicating that he's breathing. Trying to restrain him from him being able to carry out the threats. And then some people say that this was about race, which is absolutely ridiculous. I didn't see a black man threatening passengers. I saw a man threatening passengers.
Right.
A lot of whom were people of color. The man who helped restrain Mr. Nearly was a person of color. And then a few days after the incident, I read in the papers that a woman of color came out and called me a hero. I don't believe that I'm a hero, but she was one of those people that I was trying to protect.
Hold on, I think I saw a little micro smile, guys. Is it me, or after he said, "I don't think I'm a hero," he thinks he's a hero? There's a playback. Watch this, guys. Are we seeing a micro smile in between that?
Really was a person of color. A few days after the incident, I read in the papers that a woman of color came out and called me a hero.
Here we go. Right here.
I don't believe that I'm a hero, but she was one of.
Okay, maybe not. I could have saw something. I think I was looking for it.
I don't believe that I'm a hero, but
I
she
saw
was
it.
one of those people that I was trying to.
His eyes lit up.
We were all scared. Mr. Nearly was yelling in these passengers' faces, and they looked terrified. The reason why there was no video at the start of the altercation was because people were too afraid getting away from him, and the videos didn't start until they saw that situation was under control. I knew I had to act, and I acted in a way that would protect the other passengers, protect myself, and protect Mr. Nearly. I used this hole to restrain him, and I did this by leaving my hand on top of his head to control his body. You can see in the video there's a clear rise and fall of his chest, indicating that he was still breathing. And I'm calibrating my grip based on the force that he's exerting. And I was trying to keep him on the ground.
Yes, he was doing what he felt he had to do. But maybe he did it too hard.
Till the police came. I was praying that the police would come and take this situation under.
I'm sure he was on drugs. He probably choked on his own vomit.
Take this situation over. I didn't want to be put in that situation, but I couldn't just sit still and let him carry out these threats.
My name's Jeff Turner.
I don't know, dude. It's I don't know, dude. I would say half and half, but if this guy is out to kill everyone else and just fuck with people, I mean, dude, you can't be doing that. Yeah, you just can't be doing that. So I think he did the right thing, but I think he put a little extra grit to it. I think he was in a pent up, he was probably very pent up, annoyed, and just, he was like, fucking finally, I've been waiting to get my hands on a motherfucker like you. And he probably went too hard. Just being in an adrenaline ridden state, you know. Oh shit, I think
protests overnight demanding the arrest of the Marine veteran who put a homeless man in a deadly chokehold. Witnesses say the victim was acting
Now we're having sympathy for the homeless. That's my problem, is that now we can have sympathy. Oh, the homeless man. Okay. You didn't give a fuck before. You're not donating your shit. You're not helping.
Erratically and threatening other passengers. Whit Johnson has the latest.
Overnight, protesters demanding the arrest of a Marine veteran seen in this disturbing video, putting a homeless.
Holy shit.
Protesters demanding the arrest of a Marine veteran seen in this disturbing video, putting a homeless man in a deadly choke.
Dude, I'm sure this fucking guy was out of control. Honestly. I've seen it too many times.
So cold.
You took drugs from us!
Like, I was in the hospital ER a few weeks ago waiting for my friend, and there was just some crazy fucking homeless guy, and there's like, I'm in this side room, there's this guy, oh, and he's getting closer, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to do something. There's a couple right there, and then a lady with her baby, and I'm standing up. I didn't sit down. I stood up the whole time waiting for him to do some crazy shit, and it was about to go down. So I totally understand the situation. A threatening, fucking, weird, drug-ridden fuck that is going to lose control and attack someone.
How many more?
The NYPD now reviewing that video and calling for witnesses to come forward. Authorities say 30-year-old Jordan Neely was acting erratically, and some witnesses reported...
A big-ass dude, 6'3", 6'4". Yeah, that's fucking intimidating and not a good situation.
He threatened passengers on the Manhattan F train.
Dude, he's literally doing what the military taught him to do.
4-year-old veteran stepped in. Other passengers seen holding Neely's arms. He was later pronounced dead at the hospital. New York Governor Kathy Hochul calling the case horrific.
This was an individual who took the situation into his own hands. Just looking at that video, you know it's wrong. No one has the right to take the life of another person.
But Mayor Eric Adams urging
this guy's like, he's probably like, we need more
the
you
public
motherfuckers
to trust the process.
But we need to be extremely clear that from day one of this administration, I focused on we cannot have people with severe emotional illnesses on our subway system.
Ooh. Maybe this is a psyop, guys. Clearing out the fucking homeless, man. Something has to get better, guys. Something has to get better. Mentally ill. It's the root of mental illness we need to figure out and stop pushing corporate bullshit for capitalism. That's what's breeding mental illness. Not everyone can fit in this narrow lane. I've had to change my life incredibly to try to fit into this narrow lane, and I still don't live that life. You know, I'm making my own version of it.
Neely seen here on a subway train just days earlier. Known for his performances as a Michael Jackson impersonator.
Okay, they show the picture of him like 20, 30 years ago. Oh, yeah, and he's been riding the subway, and look at him now.
Known for his...
Oh, wait, here we go.
On a subway train just days...
This homeless guy's fed up, too, and he's all on drugs.
Earlier. Known for his performances as a Michael Jackson impersonator, Neely had been arrested more than 40 times, including for assault.
Oh, good
Overnight,
Lord.
Neely's family retaining an attorney, saying in a statement, Mr. Neely suffered from mental illness, which began at age 14 when he experienced the brutal murder of his mother.
Oh, my God. Bro's living in a horrendous timeline.
There is no reasonable belief that he had a weapon, that he had the ability to use anything to harm anyone, and he was significantly outnumbered. So there's really no basis at all for what transpired.
The incident divided.
Getting arrested 40 times is insane.
New Yorkers and highlighting deep concerns about subway safety.
I feel like resources are the solution to it. Community connection.
Not safe at all. I mean, unfortunately, like, we're not allowed to carry things, but I wish we were able to like do pepper spray or something.
Wow, pepper spray is even illegal there. That's quite insane. I would never live in New York City. You probably will never catch me there.
Now, despite some high-profile incidents, overall major crime on the transit system here in New York City is actually down slightly from last year. Both the mayor and governor have deployed mental health resources to the subway.